heart attack. Fast, fatal, heart impact. Past painful scars, in fact I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked. Attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new submerged juice. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, let's give a brief little review. In the last part, quite a number of things have happened. Now, in the last part we had Deku, who, he has saved Bakugo's life. Now, Bakugo, he heard a conversation between Deku and the girls, where Deku, he was talking about the possibility of bringing their families back from the dead. Now, Bakugo was surprised to hear how Deku was talking. He was calm. He wasn't aggressive. He was showing weakness, and that surprised him. However, Bakugo, he later suffered from something. The effects of what the doctor has done to his mind. They reared their head in the ugliest way possible at that moment, and Deku had to take action to save his life. Now, Deku, he didn't want the same thing to happen to Momo and Todoroki, so he fixed them as well since he already was able to do the procedure on Bakugo. Now, the two are out, and right now Deku, he has finally done a few things that the operation has called for. The doctor would expect them with their powers. So Deku, he started handing out powers, and he even said he'll give up powers to people he thinks are suited for them. If he does have one idea for them, they need to hear his idea before they try and make a request. Now, obviously this was very strange to these class members, and whenever they did start to receive new powers, it was definitely intriguing. Now, with that being said, we do actually have a few days later, where they try to train with their powers and understand how to properly use them. And Deku, while he has given some guidance to them, he also didn't want them to try and figure it out themselves. He gave them the basic idea how to use it, and then let them figure it out for themselves. Since these quirks may react differently inside their bodies than his does. His body adapts to certain ability. Their bodies may not. Now then, with that all out of the way, we do currently have Deku. Deku and his group, they have traveled far, and currently they do pull up to the area where this fight club is supposed to be. And whenever they do get to the door, the guy, he actually started to get all of them. And right now he does actually ask exactly who the hell does he think he is coming here. And Deku doesn't really bring up his hand, telling the guy, as he does actually show a power, that he's here to fight. They all are. They're here to have some fun and cause a bit of chaos. Now, the guy does somewhat smile, before at least asking the kid to pay the toll to get through the door. And Deku immediately just stared at this guy, before telling him he's not paying him shit. Now, somebody from Deku's group does actually somewhat go to step forwards, and they do tell the guy exactly what they're gonna do. Now, the guy, he is sizing Deku up, and now Deku, he just stared back down at this guy before telling him, bring his hand up. If he has to pay to get in, he'll just kill him. Then the entry will be free. Is that right? Now, the guy just someone going to step aside, telling Deku that he was testing him. Now, Deku just walked by, and right now whenever everybody does walk in, there actually is Bakugo who does tell Deku that that was a bit too far, doesn't he think? No. You can't let these guys push you around. If you do, they'll show weakness. You'll draw more attention to yourself. It's like the opposite of being a pro. Don't be quiet and meek. Be loud and obnoxious. Less people are likely to look at you. If you show off like an ass, people might not mess with you, because then they'll draw attention to themselves. Now, Bakugo, he does walk in with Deku, and the entire group would go. This group consisting of Ibara, Jiro, Hakakure, and Kirishima. And the other group, that is heading to the closer fight club does consist of everybody else. Now, Bakugo, he currently is walking, and right now their actions are everybody they do get to an area where this place is massive. And right now they do actually see down below. There are fighters in the ring, and right now they are going at it with their abilities. Right now there's a man sliding around the arena, and he's trying to avoid a guy with flames. Before he does actually somewhat leap upwards into the air and comes smashing back down. The guy actually being struck downwards into his knee before being struck with an uppercut. And then there actually is one of the guy, he does get sent smashing backwards into a wall. Now, the villain just rushes the guy, and when he does so, he does make a fatal mistake. The guy immediately bringing his hands down and blasting out flames to the ground. The guy leaping upwards into the air, as the man with the fire quirk, he does bring up both of his hands. And right now, everybody do watch as the guy in the air gets barbecued alive. Now, the villain actually is someone going to stand back up. And right now after he does, someone going to limp away. There actually is where a man is going walking out. Him loudly announcing to many people that was their latest battle. If anyone wants to try and step into the ring and fight, they can do so. They all need to know. This isn't just some one-on-one tournament. This is a battle royale. If anyone wants to try and make an attempt at the cage match, they're well able to do so. This is a no-holds-bar place. Bloodshed is welcome. Now, a lot of people are currently standing there. And Deku, he does actually someone going to turn and tell someone. Right now, he's going to go down to the arena and fight. If anybody wants to go down with him, they can become good distractions. They can make it look good, and someone can get injured. If they head to the medical tent, you could say, then the doctor will have to find them. Now, Bakugo doesn't want to stare down at the arena, watching as the guy who just got killed is being carried out by a few people. And Bakugo, he does actually make a note of one of the men he does see. He has his own idea. Dress as a paramedic or a doctor and actually walk around. Those guys are wearing full gear, so their faces aren't fully seen. And that would make it easier to blend in. No one can see your face already. So, he has his own idea forming. Now, Deku does Doki go to turn, and asks Bakugo if he does want to try and step in the ring with him. And Bakugo does look at Deku before telling him he's willing to give it a shot. Now, right now there actually is where two men, they're in the ring, and they are getting ready for their match. As the announcer, before he actually is going to start announcing the people, there actually is where a man is coming jumping down. And whenever he does so, a lot of people do Doki go to turn and see him. As right now, a lot of people do see the black-haired man standing there. Him bringing his hands up and pulling off his shirt over his head. And then there actually is that necklace. Platinum necklace. Now, many people do see Deku. And right now they do all go silent. The announcer shouting at him that he can't be down here. They were just about to announce the next matchup. Unless he wants to be another contender. This can be a 1-for-1-for-1 match. Now, they could just tell the man. He is here to fight, yeah. But there is something different happening. He wants them to rush him. All of them. Now, the man is confused. And Deku does start to walk over. The man actually watching Deku as Deku does look towards the two in the ring. Telling both of them, he's going to come at them with the intent to kill. He wants them to attack him. He wants them to try and kill him. He wants a good fight. If they don't give him one, he'll murder both of them. Now, the men are very surprised. And their actions were one, he actually watched Deku walk Doki up to the microphone. Him grabbing it and shouting at every villain as he does look around. To anyone who wants to try and face him, come get him. Right now he wants all of them to fucking fight him. Unless all of them are pussies. Unless all of them don't think they have the balls to take him out. Now, there actually are some people in the crowd get riled up. And right now there actually is with a guy, he immediately does turn to Deku, shouting at him about how egotistical he does seem to be. and Deku doesn't immediately turn to the guy. The man stepping forwards to Deku as he actually goes to swing his arm. Deku bringing his hand up and letting go of the microphone. Him grabbing onto the man's arm and throwing his elbow directly into his chest, right into his ribcage. Now, the man is surprised whenever Deku does do that. Deku actually going to directly throw his head backwards and dodge a wild jab, bring up his left foot and directly kicking with his, ankle area, directly around the man's left groin, directly into his leg. Now, Deku hits very close up into the muscle, and whenever he does, the man is pleasantly surprised. As whenever he actually is going to kill over in pain, Deku brings his hand up, grabbing the man's hair and smashing it down his face, directly into his knee. Before Deku does going to throw him backwards, and the man is go flying backwards and trying to get back onto balance. Him rushing towards Deku, as Deku does immediately dodge under the punch and with his flat palm, smash as hard as he can into, his gut, or his abdominal region. Now, Deku would knock the wind out of this guy, before quickly going to throw out his right palm and smash him back directly in the ribcage. Now, Deku does send this guy flying backwards as the man he's actually trying to catch his breath. And right now Deku, what he did, he just almost killed this guy. The guy right now is laying out on the ground, gasping for air as his muscles, they're twitching and losing control. Now, Deku does turn to the announcer. And the announcer actually stares at this guy as the guy he actually is trying to, unclench his fingers because of what's going on. The guy's losing control of his body. It's almost like he's having a seizure, or it's almost like he's having muscle convulsions. Now, right now Deku, he does stare down at the guy, as he does agree to turn to the announcer. As the man is going to announce that right now that man is down. Now, a few people do actually start to jump into the ring. And Bakugo, he actually does think about what to do. It does seem sad, but hey, maybe he'll jump in the ring in a few minutes. Now, currently there actually is somebody watching, and they actually are very intrigued. They are looking down. They see that man, powerful, intensely powerful, and he has power that can be backed up from his words. Perhaps his quirk will be useful. Now, right now there actually is over with Mizuki and the girls, or Mizuki, Ochako, and the other group. Now, this group, they actually are at the city, and right now they're actually where they went into the fight club, and a few other things started to happen. Now, the girls, them, Todoroki, and Tokoyami, they were all getting things prepared. Their operation, it's a bit bigger, yes, but right now there actually was the fact that they wanted somebody in the cage match. And there actually was a Mizuki, she decided to step up. However, Ochako herself wanted to get in and fight. She wanted to test her new powers, since both these powers can be mistaken for one ability. Now, Mizuki, she just wanted to test her own new powers, but right now, hey, let's have Ochako have some fun. Meanwhile, she actually will be in the background trying to get their force to find the doctor. Now, currently Ochako, she is standing in the ring. And right now there actually were a few people, they do stare down at this young woman. No, she's a teenager. That's adorable. She's gonna get killed. Now, currently somebody does step into the ring, and they actually look down at Ochako, and they actually are laughing a bit, talking about how exactly she'll die. And Ochako just stared down at this person, bring her hand up, and announcing, as she has tell them that she really won't. The man just stand there as Ochako, she does go to bring up her hands. And with one solid motion, she immediately does fly the man backwards into a wall. Now, she actually started to ask if anyone is going to take her seriously here tonight, or if she can actually have to fight people and show off her powers. She came here tonight to have some fun. And right now, nobody seems to want to do that. Now, right now the girls are watching Ochako. And Mizuki, yeah. Right now they do have to take care of this operation carefully. However, while these two different groups of people are trying to figure out where the doctor might be in both fight clubs, there currently is one thing. There currently is the pro heroes. They have been trying to hunt down the doctor for a while. And right now, there actually is the fact that the doctor, he has yet to show up. Now, currently the heroes, they do have operations. And the fact is that tonight, there is an operation to try and find the doctor. Heroes, very shortly after the battle over with Ochako starts, they would break in. And the heroes, they do try to get in and find the villains. Find the doctor and get him. However, there actually is over Izuku's fight club. Now, Deku, right now he's kicking some ass. And the fact is, he's already gone for a few rounds. And many villains, they're watching this. This guy, he just stands there and waits. He takes a guy out, then he waits for somebody else to jump in the ring. And a lot of people, they're confused. This guy, he's serious. He's got some power behind him. But right now, all they've been seeing, his movements, the way he's predicting people, the way he's reading them, I mean, it all looks like strategy. I mean, is that even a quirk? Maybe it is. No, he almost killed that one guy just by those few moves. So, is this, well, is this his quirk, super strength? That's gotta be it, but it doesn't make sense. Now, right now 9, he does sit there, as he actually does look towards one of his friends. And they actually do jump down into the ring. As right now the Chimera guy, he does stand looking in front of Deku. And Deku, he actually is going to look dorky towards him, as the man is still Deku. He's pretty impressive, isn't he? You could say that, yeah. And you? I'm quite simple. As you can see from my quirk, I'm different. Anyways, put up or shut up. They could bring up his hands, telling him he wants to have fun. That's what he's here for. And if it does mean that he has to send his ass to a doctor, then he'll do that. Now, the man does bring his hands up, and telling Deku about how that it won't exactly be easy for him to do. Now, right now people do watch, as Deku and Chimera, they do rush towards each other. Now, the man, he's large, and Deku, he can see that. However, right now Deku, he's holding back. He's using natural abilities, trying to show off impressive physical capability. The doctor looks for that, right? Unique powers, ones that are intriguing, ones that are good, ones that don't make sense, right? So, if you can take down this guy, or get injured by him, then maybe they can find the doctor. Maybe the doctor will be taken out. Now, currently Deku, that's what he is thinking, as he actually is dodging out of the way of a few fists. Before a fist is coming directly at him, Deku does actually want to turn and grab it. Deku actually grabbing it and throwing his body directly up on the man's arm. As one of the guy does actually directly pull his arm backwards and try and smash Deku onto the ground, Deku, he immediately lets go and goes to throw his weight backwards. Him grabbing and twisting and directly kicking the man into the throat. Now, whenever Deku does do that, he actually is going to directly wrap his leg around the man's neck, before going to directly throw back his right leg and smash it downwards into the man's chest. Now, the man is confused, as Deku actually does want to directly grab at his snout and spin around. Deku doing so and bring up his hand, smashing directly downwards into the nerve cluster of, well, his right shoulder, right up there by his neck. Now, Deku smashes down at that point, and then goes to, with good measure, put a little bit more strength into this one strike, him pulling his hand backwards and smashing down again. As the beast, he does fall forwards. Now, whenever he does so, there actually is where a lot of people do watch that. And Deku, he actually somewhat back up and currently stand there. Him actually panting a bit as he does look around. Everybody's they full and quiet. And right on 9, he does stare on. Definitely impressive. The doctor might have a good use for him. Such a shame though. Top 5 beast. Did he die? No matter. Well then. Now, there actually is Slice, who does immediately stand up whenever 9 went to do so. And whenever she actually just jumped down into the arena, she does tell a few people about what to do. Get him medical attention, and then get him to the doctor. Now, Deku immediately does turn hearing that phrase. The doctor. He's here. Now, Deku does stare directly at her and ask, the doctor she's speaking of, do they happen to be All For One's doctor? I would not tell you that. Deku bring up his hands, expressing, let's make a deal. A deal. Really now, I don't think that would be advisable, especially for my friend back there. Deku looking up into the stands and seeing 9, and the moment those two make eye contact, 9 he senses something off, as right now he does use a quirk to try and read Deku's power level. Now, right now 9, he stares at Deku in awe, as he does stare at one simple thing, the number he reads. It's the highest he has ever seen. Now, 9 would immediately throw himself over the railing, and directly land down into the arena, as he has stepped forwards and tells Slice about what to do. What? But this is my fight. No. And bring up his hand, telling her, this is his fight. This boy, he must be Izuku Midoriya. I don't know a lot of people do hear him say that. The announcer shouting out Izuku Midoriya, as everybody in the stands, they do freeze. Now, Deku does want to bring up his hands and clap, asking the man how exactly he may have figured it out. To which the man would try to explain. He has the ability to do so. He can read powers, and right now Deku's level, it's the highest he's seen before. He must congratulate him though. His powers would be of good use to him. His quirk in particular is strange. He does actually have to ask, Izuku, he does what exactly? His power, from what he can tell, jumped high, then went back down low. The doctor has an interest in Deku's abilities. He seems to be able to create perfect copies of quirks, but he can't steal them. That is such a shame though. His power would be good, especially whenever he does mix it with his own, like he does intend to. Now, Deku does someone going to bring up his hands, telling 9 how that won't really work. And if the jig is really up, then he does have to tell him. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. Young man, you're surrounded by villains. There's only one of you. You're right. There is only one of me. Now, right now, a lot of people, they're surprised whenever somebody does come down descending from the rafters, and the entire area, it is coated in vines. Now, there actually is Jiro. As you're not Jiro, she actually does start to move around the area and bring up her hands. As you're now directly from her palms, they do something to split open, and she actually starts to shoot around Disc. Now, Jiro sends Disc flying throughout the air, and a lot of people they do get to watch them as they're floating directly in front of the ring. And whenever someone does actually try to step forwards and grab out towards one, it sends an entire burst of sound. Now, the entire crowd reels back in pain and because of the loud noise. And Deku is trying to tell the man, he brought some people with him. He wouldn't consider them to be friends, but hey, right now they're good allies. Now, there actually is where Kirishima, he actually is someone going to jump down and Rookie gets in front of and by Deku. Trying to talk about how he'll take on this one chick while Deku takes on the other one. And Deku does tell Kirishima, no. What? Him turning. And Deku does tell him, go find the doctor. Because if he doesn't find the doctor, a lot of bad things can happen. They need to get him. Right now he'll handle the villains. They're nothing. Now, there actually is where 9 stares at Deku. And there actually is where the girl does talk about how Deku should not be so arrogant. Because he doesn't understand anything about what's going on. To which 9, he tries to express to Deku, they don't have to fight. Doubtful. You're a villain. I see. The rumors of you being influenced by the Hero Committee were true. Very. Now, if you're done talking about my past, how about we go ahead and fight? All 3 of us. Now, 9 tries to express to Deku. He can give him information. He can tell him where the doctor is. Really? Yes. You see, the doctor and he has done much for me. He gave me an incredible gift. My powers, they were too much for my own body. And I'm special. My powers damaged me beyond repair. And this suit I'm currently wearing, I had to wear it. However, now I don't need to. In fact, I do enjoy it, because it does help me with my other abilities now. Then again, the doctor, he wants to try and hold me on a leash. I do not like that. You can understand the feeling. Having someone control you. So, how about this? I tell you where the doctor is, and you act like you killed me. If he asks questions about his precious little project, then he's gone. Because otherwise, I can take your abilities, and I can be on my way. With your powers, the doctor will be forced to listen to me. Now, Deku does start to burst out laughing, and the man is stared looking at Deku. As Deku does tell him, he really does think that he can take control, take All For One's place. He killed All For One. Now, 9 stares looking back at Deku, and a lot of the villains, they hear that. As Deku does tell 9 that he'll kill him too. He is a villain. Negotiations, sure. He could do that. He could brainwash him right now in this very instant. But hey, he's a villain, right? Then they'll see exactly what he can do. Now, 9 tells Deku that he really shouldn't do that. He'll take his powers. And Deku does tell him, he's not the only one with that damn quirk. Stop acting like he is. He needs to be smarter. Know his enemies. Izuku, he killed All For One. He was in the same room. And that means he has the very same power. And right now he won't deal with a bargain brand little shit. Now, 9 is annoyed. And Deku, he does look at 9 as right now Slices rush forwards towards him. And she actually does tell Deku to shut the hell up. To which Deku, he looks at her and smiles. And now she does immediately go to freeze. Now, Deku, he does tell 9. That takes care of that distraction. To which 9 does look over towards her, and then look back towards Deku, bringing up his hand. And right now Deku, he does watch 9, as the man does send out his blue dragons. Now, Deku, he immediately does dodge by flying upwards into the air. And whenever he does so, 9 brings up his hand and tries to blast the laser at Deku. Now, Deku does fly out of the way, as right now he actually is going to send out his own attack. Now, Deku, he immediately brings out rifle and blast at 9, to which 9, he brings up his hand and creates an air wall. Now, a lot of people currently they are watching, as Deku, he does actually bring his hands up and turn his entire body into platinum. And now he actually does have a few ideas. As 9, him and Deku, they're both somewhat looking at each other. Now, Nine and Deku, they do start to clash. And the fact is their powers, they are very strong. And we do actually have the heroes who are waiting out this operation. They wanted to try and see if they can catch the Doctor on his way out. Wait him out. They believe that they have more evidence pointing to this location to where he will be. And right now the number one hero, he's annoyed. He wants to get the hell inside. And whenever the entire ground starts to shake, their actions of the building in front of them starts to crack and rumble. As you know, there actually is where something does come blasting directly outwards and cutting through the area. An entire laser sending out explosions, as right now Deku, he's actually sent flying through the air. Him bringing his hands up and using an explosion. And right now Deku does actually somewhat going to equalize himself out and blast himself back towards the battle. Now, Deku starts to fly forwards. As one of our wings do sprout out of his back, Deku starts to turn into a bit more of a dragon, using Ryoko's dragon quirk and creating wings. Now, a lot of people currently do look up in the sky and see that. As Deku, he does use this ability to his advantage. Now, there actually is everybody else. Currently they are inside trying to handle everything. And currently Deku and Nine, they made their way outside. And Nine, he is quite happy that Deku did that for him. He's quite happy the two are out in the open. And he does start to bring down the thunder. Now, Deku, him and Nine, they're currently flying and battling. Nine using his quirks to try and take on Deku. And Deku, right now he shows that he is a menace. Nine, he saw Deku turn his body into metal. So, he tried to bring down lightning directly onto Deku. And Deku, the moment he did bring his hands up, he created something to protect himself. Him using Earthflow to use the concrete and blast it directly up and in front of him. And the moment the lightning did hit the concrete, Deku, he actually did do one thing. He turned his body into a normal mode before going to directly look towards Nine. Him going to bring his hands backwards and using consecutive force. Now, Deku basically blasts himself with force and then uses explosions in his feet. Him blasting towards Nine, as the moment Deku does get right up in front of him, he reaches his hand out. And Nine, he actually is trying to bring his hand back, and blasts himself backwards. Deku's quirk relies on physical touch. The Doctor gave him advice. Overload the boy's body. Use his powers and get away from him. Stay away. And right now there actually is where Nine, he is trying to move backwards. As Deku, he's blasting directly towards him, bringing his hand outwards. And Deku does shut at Nine. He can't stay away forever, as Nine does directly go to bring up his hand. Him blasting out with more lightning. As where the lightning does come to try and strike down on Deku, Deku immediately does bring his hand up. And do one thing. He reaches his hand up and grabs onto the lightning. As whenever Deku does feel it enter his body, he does actually bring his other hand up. And he does do one simple thing. He blasts out the energy through his hand. And Nine does watch. The beam of lightning that comes towards him. It's more like energy. And right now Nine, he goes flying out of the way as whenever it does smash into a building behind him. It immediately explodes. And the building does shake. Now, right now Endeavor, he does come flying up. As whenever he does so, he does try to understand what the hell is happening. And the moment Endeavor does come flying up and immediately see Deku, he does turn and see him. Deku turning and seeing Endeavor, as Endeavor does shout up about what the hell he's doing. To which Deku does immediately go to bring his hand up, telling him that he needs to get away from here. Kid, you cannot do that. You're jeopardizing our entire operation. Go find the Doctor. People are already down there looking for him. He has all for one. What? He has a quirk. All for one. It's not like mine. But if he has it, he can take your abilities. Get the fuck out of here. Now, Endeavor is confused. However, he actually is going to try and ask, where is his son? To which Deku does look towards him and tell him, he doesn't know. Ask somebody down there. Bakugo Katsuki, he knows him. Find him and ask. He does not care right now. Now, Nine is come blasting forwards. And right now he actually is bringing up his hand. As whenever he does go to keep trying to use another quirk of his, Deku does bring his hands up. And right now he actually does start to harness the fire of the lightning. Now, Deku does go to throw his hand outwards and blast towards 9. To which 9 he does go flying to the right and dodging. As he does go flying over the blast and trying to bring his hand back up again. As he does need to at least get a better grasp on this. Now, 9 strikes Deku with lightning once more, and then starts to strike him again and again and again. Right now he's taking pot shots at Deku, and Deku he is letting off that energy. But let's see. He's letting off that energy in concentrated burst. Okay. That's sort of good. But his power. Let's see what he can do. Now, 9 does shout to down below. And now there actually is his allies. A few villains who are here. They're trying to group together. Trying to fight the vigilantes who have insane power. And then whenever the heroes do come here, yeah, that does not help them very much. Now, 9 currently, he does have a few ideas. As whenever Deku, he actually is floating there in the sky, he is looking for 9. Whenever he actually sees him, he does go to bring his hand up. Him doing so and turning his arm into a rifle. Him increasing it in size and blasting outwards as a sound it does get heard for miles. Now, this sound is louder than lightning, and 9 he actually is surprised as things go directly flying straight past him. Now, Deku, he actually looks at 9 before bringing up his other hand and blasting out the same way again. Now, 9 is surprised, and this time Deku's bullet, it doesn't go straight. 9 watches as it does start to curve and go directly to the side, as it does immediately blast and hit him in his shoulder. Now, 9 is surprised, and then actually is whenever Deku, he does watch 9 bleed. Now, 9 brings his hand up and goes directly trying to dig the bullet out of his shoulder. As Deku, he stares right at him, and 9 does watch Deku fire off another bullet. As this time 9 does watch, as whenever he does go to try and fly backwards and dodge it, it curves. And right now Deku, he does at least try to shout to him, with the bullet in his shoulder. To which 9 he's confused, hearing the sound, the voice. You can't get away. I'm too powerful for you, 9. Now, 9 is clearly surprised, and Deku just tried to tell him. Right now every move he makes he can predict. Everything he does, he can counter against. Now, Deku right now he's using all of his flying quirks, and he does start to show off his true power. And 9 he does watch. As whenever he does hear a loud boom, there actually where Deku he does immediately appear in front of him. And Deku does go to bring up his hand. Him reaching out and grabbing towards 9's face, as 9 does reach out and grab Deku's. Now, Deku grabbed onto 9's face, and the moment he did, 9 struck down the force of lightning on both of them. Now, 9 he brought down the thunder, truly end all force. As you know, everybody, they do actually try and get away from this tornado. This immense rush of weather. The insanity of it. It's starting to tear apart many things. The wind pressure. I mean, hell. What the hell is going on up there? And another actually is Deku and 9. 9 is intrigued. He's trying to find the ability. Too many. There's too many here. Trying to dig through and find it. Where is it? Where is it? Did he bury it? What did he do? Now, Deku and 9 do both currently sit there and battle. And right now Deku, he actually finds 9's quirk. He hid off one deeper, but he didn't hide it far enough. And Deku does feel the ability. As whenever his version does reach out and grab onto his, 9, he does feel Deku pull his quirk out of him. However, right now there actually is Deku. As Deku, he does appear somewhere else. And he's standing there, looking at his hands. Where is he? Now, Deku does look around. As this place, he's... What? Now, Deku looks right up, and he does see it. The smile of a madman. That face. That must have been all for one. Now, Deku does look at the man, who right now he does have his hand directly outstretched, reaching for Deku. As Deku, he actually does feel himself get pulled backwards. And right now, whenever he does so, he is struck with a massive bolt of lightning. Now, Deku feels his body absorb it. And now Deku does go to bring his hands up and blast them outwards towards Nine. And Nine, he actually does watch as Deku grabs him and blasts the lightning at him too. Now, Nine, his body is using regeneration. And right now so is Deku. And the two are locked right now in combat, floating in the sky. Deku stole all for one from Nine. And Nine, currently, he is trying to reach out and take that ability back. But he can't. And Deku, right now he is watching Nine be struck over and over again with the immense toll of lightning. But he's regenerating. And Deku, he's regenerating just as fast. These two, they have the same quirk. And right now Deku, he does tell Nine, as the two go blasting downwards into the ground and create an explosion, about what he'll do. Now, currently there actually is Deku, who does stand over Nine, as Nine he does lay there, barely conscious, and trying to understand what to do. As right now he does lay there, bring up his hand, him reaching out and trying to attack Deku. However, Deku does look down, reading his power level, telling him about how exactly it's such a shame. Now, Nine does watch one of the Hydras pop out of Deku's back, and Deku does tell him he does have such beautiful quirks, such great creations. And Nine does stare up in fear, him looking up to see the devil. No, he made a deal with the devil. This can't be him. Nine, you disappoint me. You can't be. Are you? Am I who? You're a monster. No, Nine. I'm a hero. Now, Nine has watched Deku bring the Hydra down, and right now Deku just smash the Hydra to the side of Nine's head. As is, someone going to lean forwards and tell Nine, bring his foot down onto his chest. He wants to know where the doctor is, right now. Now, right now there actually is a Proteus come running up, and Deku is going to bring his hand up and block the kick they send directly at him. As Mirako just stand there right in front of Deku, and Deku does turn his head and look directly at her, to which she just feel that intense feeling of survival kick in. Now, Mirako's heart begins to race, and right after jumping backwards, just get ready. Her actually shouting at him to let the villain go. They need to interrogate him to find information on the doctor. Now, Deku just stare at Mirako, and right now their actions were Eraserhead and a few other pros like Present Mike and Midnight, they all do come running forwards. And Deku looks at all of them. And he does stare at all of them as Endeavor does come walking up. And now he does try to give a status report on the situation. It doesn't look like the doctor's here. To which Deku does someone going to turn and shout at Endeavor, the doctor should have been here. This was one of the locations they found. Really? Damn it. He must have got out of here when everything's got flaky. 9. Deku looking down, telling him, as he starts to apply pressure, where the hell is the doctor? To which 9 just stared looking up at Deku, still surprised. And Deku does someone going to pull his foot backwards and then stomp it down onto 9's throat, putting down pressure, telling him, tell him where the fucking doctor is. Now, 9 starts to struggle to breathe, and right now Endeavor to stare looking at Deku. As Deku does try things a bit differently, bring his foot backwards and telling 9, answer his questions or he'll kill his friends. And 9 immediately shouts out in retaliation, he won't. And right now Deku, he just watches him freeze. And 9, he tries to give Deku an honest answer. And Deku, he does watch. 9 right now, he does comply. And the heroes who stand there watching Deku get this information, as right now they get it. Now, Nine does try to explain a few things. Here is what he does know. This information, though, he's not too sure about. This is what he doesn't know. And rather actually is the problem. One of his other projects. One that he isn't too sure Deku can actually take on. And Deku, he does hear about that. As right now, Deku, he does stand there and look at Nine. Before, whenever Nine does go silent, Deku, he does watch as he does look up towards the pros. Mirako actually lunging forwards because of her instincts to fight. Whenever Mirako does lunge towards Deku, Deku does good bring up his right arm. As whenever Mirako does throw her leg out to kick towards Deku, Deku he immediately does block her kick as she does try to bring up her other arm, or her other leg. Now, Deku quickly does good try and spin his body, him grabbing Mirako by her leg and blocking the other kick, before quickly going to send her over his head and smashing down into the ground. And another actually is Aizawa. Aizawa does step forwards, and going to try and erase Deku's quirk. Now, the moment he does do that, there actually is Mirako, who she actually does get up and leap towards Deku and rush towards him. Now, Deku, he actually fight Mirako. Now, Mirako, she actually is being shouted at to stop. And right now she is not listening. As there actually is Deku. Mirako throws out a right fist. Deku, either he would catch it and then turn her arm, before smashing her into the side of her, well, the bend in her elbow, as he does someone bring up his elbow and smash her directly into the chest. Mirako actually throwing up her leg as Deku does someone leap backwards and away from it, leaping back forwards and going in. Now, Mirako is surprised. Deku's tactical prowess is good. And another actually is where someone is going to shout, "Stop it!" Now, everybody they do go to someone turn and hear the booming voice. The booming voice of a #1 hero. Now, Deku, he does someone going to turn and stand there, as he does look at Stars and Stripes, the #1 hero of America. Now, Deku, he doesn't know who this pro is. All the data he does have is on Japan. And right now this is an unknown variable to him. Now, Aizawa looked away from Deku. And the moment Aizawa did, Deku he felt his power return. Him actually going to bring his hand up and tell Mirako. It was nice to fight. However, her quirk, he'll make good use of it. Now, she looked back towards him, going to lunge at him. As you know, Deku, he does blast himself backwards with consecutive force. Now, the moment Deku does do that, he actually gets sent flying. And right now, Deku, he does try to hack into a lot of things nearby. Aizawa tried to turn and use his quirk again. And Deku, he did one simple thing. He got out of the man's line of sight. Now, the moment Deku went flying directly around the building, he did bring his hands up, him throwing them onto the ground and pushing off with super strength. As you know, Deku just go upwards into the air. There's a pro he doesn't know, and heroes, they already compromised his operation. Now, Deku, he actually does try to bring up his hand, him pulling out his phone and using his quirk to make a phone call. Now, Deku, right now he is flying, and he is trying to tell everybody about what's happened. There's a new pro here, and right now the doctor, he is not inside. To which everybody, they already did figure this out, and they already were on the retreat. Now, Deku, he does get back to the base, and right now the other vigilantes, they had a bit more trouble. They figured out the doctor wasn't in their location. And whenever heroes started to raid their location, some people, yeah, they turned themselves into the authorities. Whenever pros, they came and attacked. They had to fight pros. And whenever they were going to be overwhelmed, they surrendered. Others, however, they ran. Now, Baka was furious when this happened. And right now the fact is, if these kids are in jail, they're not going to be able to fight. And right now there actually is somebody here who, yeah, they are in a bit more trouble. Todoroki, the son of the number one hero right now in Japan, is in jail for vigilantism or vigilantism. And right now, Endeavor, he wants to speak to his son. Now, with that being said, Deku, he's surprised. He is surprised that Endeavor, he called in reinforcements and there's a pro here. He doesn't know. He needs to look into this pro, though. Female, very large, very tall in stature, and what is it? Her power. What would it be? She's clearly, well, insane, isn't she? He heard her voice. Is that it? Sound waves. No, that can't be it. But what else would it have been? What else could her quirk be? Clearly she's powerful. Okay. Additional information needs to be gathered. Her face. Her outfit. American. That's what he does know. But why is there an American pro in Japan? Something is not right here. Back up. More than likely, yes. But if that's the case, then why isn't the military in Japan either? Why is the military waiting? Okay. It would make sense that they're focusing on rescue rather than attacking, but right now attacking is what they do need. Is that why they sent in pros? Their hero committee is shot, so they need someone else's to try and fill that gap. It does make sense. Now, right now Deku, he does want to make a plan to save his allies. However, he also wants to look into exactly who this new pro is. Because an unknown variable is a variable Deku does not like. Now, with that being said, 9 is brought in. And right now they want to ask him more questions to see what he will say whenever he isn't brainwashed versus what he will say. Because right now, that does give them an edge. If they are able to work with 9, then 9 will be on their side. He doesn't want to be on the doctor's side. And right now without his quirk, he just has that regeneration. Deku, he left him that much. I mean, he needed 9 alive, but he will probably come after him again. He worked with All for One. And Deku, yeah, leaving a villain alive isn't really his intention. Now, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.